Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video. And I'm sure you figured out by now what this is. I don't know why I keep saying stuff like that. It says in the fucking title of the video what it is. Now I thought I'd already done this because I've done Shadow of the Beast 2, Shadow of the Beast 3, Orc, which I am convinced was at some point going to be Shadow of the Beast 4. I've even done Wrath of the Demon, the blatant Shadow of the Beast cash-in. But no, I've done the Commodore 64 version of this, but I hadn't done the Amiga version, which I thought I had done. So, well, let's get it over with then. So here we are. Shadow of the Beast for the Amiga, which was released by Psygnosis in, I'm trying to remember, 89 I think, might be 90. I'll check that before I upload it. And whereas Space Invaders was the genesis of video game popularity, this to me was the genesis of modern video games, because it was graphically amazing, as I have to change the disc. It was graphically amazing, the presentation was fantastic, the soundtrack was great, and when it came to the gameplay there was fuck all. Absolutely fucking nothing. The gameplay was a total afterthought, which epitomises modern gaming all over. So this, I think, is where it all started. Now when the game first came out, I mean, it blew everyone away. I had this game back in the day, as just about every Amiga owner did, and at the time I was one of only 2 people I knew who had an Amiga. Everybody else who I knew had a Spectrum. I think there may have been 1 or 2 had Commodore 64s. I didn't know that many Commodore 64 owners, but everybody else had a fucking Spectrum. So of course, when mates would come, oh, you go, 1989. So when mates of mine would come over, I would put this on, and you know, graphically and like audibly, it fucking blew them away. And of course they didn't get to play the game very often, just when they called around my house, so they thought the game was fucking phenomenal. I, however, because I started playing the game semi-regularly, when I got it anyway, I very quickly realised that there was nowhere near as much here as was first thought. So let's get the game started. So it has to load in the first level, and we get the scrolling message. As the mist clears, the eerie image of a forest forms in front of you. To the east, a vast plain extends towards the horizon. Westward, however, in the thick of the forest, 1,000 pairs of eyes pierce the mist, glaring despondently back at you. Great. Now, you do have a choice of direction. You go left or right. And when it comes to your like attacking moves, you can punch in the, you know, standing up, or you can crouch down and punch, or you can jump up and then you can kick while you're jumping. That's your attacking moves. So if you head this way, you'll see that there's a well there. Now as you go down it, all you'll see is a door at the bottom, which you can't go into because there's it's locked. Well, it says it's locked. In fact, it's blocked by something on the other side. Now, if you keep going eastwards, there is that huge plain, which eventually you do have to traverse. But when we start the game, we actually have to travel into the forest. Now, I am not using any trainers, which means that my go is probably not going to last very long, because this game is fucking difficult. Especially as you only mistime it by a fraction of a second, but you lose energy. So I'm already down to 8. What the fuck hit me there? So I'm down to 7. We go in. Now the Commodore 64 version, you actually start with more energy. In this you start with 12, and the Commodore 64 version is 15 you start with, and you need it. So a winding staircase descends into darkness, pausing for a while to allow your eyes to adjust and for the level to load. You make your way down the steps, which seem to deteriorate into makeshift planks the further you go. Doesn't really add any atmosphere or anything. Yeah, sun type today, please. There we go. Right, so the stair spits a fireball at you. So around here we have to find a couple of keys and a couple of special power bonus things. I'm already down to 6. I've lost half my fucking health already. No, I don't want to go up there yet. So let's get the review underway, because, well, my go's not going to last very long. I'm down to 4 fucking health already. Graphically, yes. Graphically, it's fucking amazing. We've never seen graphics like this in a game before. They looked superb. And the soundtrack was superb as well. I can't remember if I have to come this way yet or not. It don't fucking matter, I'm nearly dead anyway. Right, one more hit and that's me done. Right, so that's one of the keys that I need to get. And that is a fucking godsend. So full strength. Oh, you cunt. Oh, fucking what? I can't remember what's over here. I'm sure I've forgotten something. I have one key. I'm sure I'm meant to get 2 keys around here. Okay, let's have a look around here. Is this just sending me back the way I came? Anyway, let's go back on with the review then. So yeah, I mean, the graphics were incredible. You know, only an idiot would say that they worked. The graphics are fantastic. As far as the audio, again, I've already said the music is great. You know, superb music. I've already been this fucking way. The actual the sound effects are a bit sparse. You've heard pretty much all of them. Much later on in the game, you do actually pick up a ranged weapon, and the sound effect for that is taken straight from the like machine guns that they use in Aliens. Other than that, that's really about it for the special effects. So now I'll come over here and I'll meet the companies around here. Trying to time this is not easy, but basically I've got to try and get this blue orb that he's constantly using. That gives me a sort of ranged attack, but only for a limited amount of time. But I have to use that to destroy a particular enemy who I'm now about to go and face. Up here. So the game is now loading in said boss. Now he does take quite a few hits. Again, sometimes the name is nice. Here we go. Right, so here he is. One touch from him and you're dead. There we go, right, so that's him down, and that's my ranged attack now gone. Well, I mean, let's get to the gameplay then. I mean, the gameplay is unbelievably basic. All of these graphics, yeah, they look great, and you know, and there's a lot of work gone into them. There's a lot of detail in them. But you know, one punch and nearly all of the enemies are down. It says don't touch. I can't remember why that lever's there, but I do know you have to use it. So yeah, you got all these like, you know, really detailed graphics on these enemies and that, but yeah, one punch and they're out. So you don't really see a great deal of them. Oh, fuck that up, Mo. I keep mistiming this when to fucking move. So I'm down to 3 health. Right, so there's the second key. Oh yeah, there's nothing carrying on there. So now I'm going to try and get back through here. Oh, I have got a fucking prayer. Being a bit quiet here because I'm trying to concentrate on getting through this section. But I mean, in terms of gameplay, I mean, games like fucking Karnov actually offer you, it says food. Fucking hell, okay, yeah, I can certainly do with that. Actually, if I just carry on going this way for a bit, let's see there, the inside of the well that we were looking at earlier. I don't think there's anything this way, is there? Oh, it's just the same cunts I've already fucking sort it out, I think. Now I need to find it's called a super punch. Oh, fuck it. Once I have that, I am then able to get out of this level. And it looks like I've gone the wrong fucking way again. Yeah, I have. Fucking, what a cunt. Keep fucking it up. Oh. So, I mean, yeah, the gameplay on offer is sparse to say the least. So the game is all presentation. It doesn't help that the difficulty level is astro-fucking-nominal. There we go, game over. So then you have to sit and wait for the game over screen to appear. Thankfully, when they got to Shadow the Beast 3, they realised that people were a bit sick of, you know, waiting for this to load, hear this music and that, before they could even, you know, start the game again. So, with Beast 3, they gave you the option to skip this. Why the fuck they couldn't have included that in this one or in the second one, I don't know, but they didn't. Well, actually I do know, it's because they just wanted to show off the graphics all the time and the soundtrack. Because that's all this was. This is nothing but a fucking tech demo. And as a tech demo, it should have been sold as a public domain title. So, you know, £1 a disc. But no. This game was 35 fucking quid. It came in a box that was absolutely fucking enormous. And, you know, it was all show, all presentation, all showing off graphics. And that's all it did. There was fuck all when it came to the game. The game is as generic and as bland and as fucking stupidly difficult as it gets. So I mean, if I was, you know, if I was of the age where modern games were the only games I'd ever seen, I'd probably be saying this was fucking great because, you know, graphically superb, great music, and that's all that matters in modern games. But of course, I'm not from that era. I'm old school. I want games where, you know, you're actually doing something. They're actually interesting. Let's see how long I last going this way then. Try and traverse the plain. Not long, fucking hell. I've been hit by everything I've fucking come across so far. I could leave that, but I don't think this... Oh no, it will give me two. Don't need to destroy that one. So yeah, if you like your games that are all show and no substance, then here you are, you got this one. This will be right up your street. But if you know, you actually want games that are interesting and enjoyable, then this is a game you should fucking avoid because it's fucking bollocks. You know, it takes more than flashy graphics to impress me. And then there's this thing, right? When it's a statue, it takes multiple hits, and then it comes out and you punch it once, bang, dead. All that work on those graphics, and it's on screen for, you know, well, next to no fucking time. anything in either of these. Right, so I'm up to 8 again. Won't make any fucking difference. In here I might as well carry on. Now loading in the next part. Of course, the other problem with this game is that because everyone was raving about the graphics at the time, it meant that just about every fucking Psygnosis game that followed all had to have fucking Roger Dean graphics in them. I'll only take one more. Okay, next hit on it. There you go. So I rate this game 5 out of 10. It is staggeringly mediocre. All of the flashy graphics and the great music fail miserably to disguise what is an unbelievably bland game that just has next to fuck all content apart from a sky high fucking difficulty. It is immensely frustrating playing this fucking shitty thing. So 5 out of 10 for Shadow of the Beast. That is really all it deserves. So that brings this review to an end, and we will see you at the next one.